Hello everyone, my name is Shashi Mukherjee, and welcome to this pre-release press conference with the cast and crew of the Blockbuster Weekend show. Welcome, guys. Screen pe aa jao. Let's talk about your show, and all of you are here. First of all, congratulations for the show. एक बार खुद के लिए तालियां हो जाए एनर्जी के लिए. Come on. Whoa. Yes. So before I talk to the actors and get to know about their characters and what they are going to do in the show, let me talk to Nasir, the director of the show. Nasir, forget about the show. First of all, tell me why do you write your surname as engineer? Like there are a lot of people who have a BTech degree. Why are you so proud of it?
Uh, so the thing is that my surname engineer is the actual surname that I go by. It's on all of my government documents. And the reason it's engineer is because my dad is an engineer. And once he sort of reached the legal age, he changed it and adopted his profession as his surname. I don't know the story behind that. Maybe he wanted to do it for the kicks, but now I am the next engineer in the engineer lineage.
That's great. That was fun. Like I never knew about this. That was great. But now tell me about the show. You have said this that this was made in 2.5 months and it's called a blockbuster. But we know blockbusters are made in years. So how did you make it in 2.5 months?
So this idea came about because I wanted to bring in my absolute interest, I would say, for movies. I've always been a big fan of movies, and I feel that improv and the way an entire movie is presented on the screen have a lot of similarities to each other. So how could I bring the both of those together? And that's when the idea of actually playing out a improvised movie came about. And the name, the Blockbuster Weekend, the blockbuster specifically is because how can you have like a nice punch of a title, Blockbuster?
Okay.
So there's no other deeper story behind that. And weekend is because there are sort of two shows on a Saturday and a Sunday. So it's like a whole weekend packed with just this blockbuster mayhem that we'll be bringing.
So what genre are you looking at with this?
This genre is going to be um, more of a coming of age genre.
Coming of age. Okay.
Yeah, where we have a protagonist who is uh, down and out defeated, and then they are able to find their way into beating the obstacles or the challenges that actually put them down in the beginning of the story.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है. So but जैसे फिल्मों में जो भी एलिमेंट्स होते हैं बाकी लाइक लाइट्स म्यूजिक एवरीथिंग वीएफएक्स इसका क्या है इम्प्रोव में कैसे आर यू क्रिएटिंग ऑल दीस थिंग्स?
So anyone else feel free to answer.
Yes, please.
Because
म्यूजिक कौन कर रहा है, लाइटिंग कौन कर रहा है?
VFX, I'll answer for the music part. The lighting part, the others can take that on. So the music is that every scene has its background score, and that of course this is not really music that has been created from scratch. This is music that will be played from a list of
already existing
that is available on YouTube.
Okay.
And the thing about the music here is that every scene is getting enhanced because of the background score. And I've always been a fan of having background scores because it just adds so much of more richness in terms of emotion, in terms of how the performers can also use silence while the music is still filling
Very
up the stage performance for it. So I would say there are about 15 tracks that will be used for just this 45-minute performance.
Great to talk to you, Nasir. I'll be back with you, but let me talk to the actors now. I'm very much attracted towards negative characters, so I'll begin with the goons, Laxmi and Akash. could you be on screen, Laxmi and Akash? And we'll get to know, like, first of all, tell me कि ये character तुम लोगों में कितना पहले से ही है और कितना तुम लोगों ने बनाया इसको. Akash का मुझे पता है, he is this character. So Lakshmi, tell me, you begin. Tell me.
Oh, I think I being a rowdy is part of it. I've always enjoyed the idea of being the sidekick. I've always enjoyed being the person who's usually mischief making, and as a feminist, I also feel like a mischief maker a lot more than I don't. So overall, it felt just wonderful to jump into that character, to be able to be the hype person, which I think is one of my superpowers. And when I met Akash, who is the counterpart, I was like, yes, we are set. And I don't know if you know, but we two are the only ones who are repeating cast. Like we're in on both days.
Yeah.
So we like set. When we got to know, we were just like, yeah, we are going to make some trouble. So yeah, that's my attraction towards the goon character.
Akash, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I'm playing this character since 1992, so it's quite easy for me. And I think, like, obviously, I was the first choice of Nasir. Like, so no, on jokes apart, I think I have goodness. Like any human being, I have a part of me which is good, a part of me which is bad. Even the goon, just because a person is goon doesn't mean everything is black about that person. So we'll get to know a lot of things. It's fun for me to play, bring out different sides, and I'm not prepared as such anything about it. I will just go with the flow, what I think the character should.
Yeah, you will get it. You'll get it naturally.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in spite of being goons, you guys are supposed to bring out some comedy, like comedic effect with your characters. So are you going to be like those cartoonish villains like Crime Master Gogo? Or do we get to see Joker and Mugambo in your portrayal? Who wants to go? Akash and Lakshmi.
I think I don't know what is going to take place. That is obviously an improvised show, but yeah, I think you might see a bit of both. Maybe a Crime Master Gogo with a backstory, like I'm sure everybody has. The reason why we have become what we are today, we might get to see that, or we might not.
Cool. Lakshmi, do you want to add something to that?
I just wanted to add that you'll definitely get to see two people who have a history of working together. Have spent some time together. So that's individual history, and the history of these two people are definitely going to propel some stuff. And I'm not going to tell you what stuff that you'll have to watch, but definitely some stuff. So that is something too. I'm particularly excited about the chemistry of these two people who are in this world, seemingly dark world, but like Akash said, with characteristics.
And that is what works best on stage, the chemistry. And with that, moving on to the villains, the antagonists, Malcolm and Veena. Tell me, there's a lot of talk about your costumes. Tell me, what is it all about with your costumes? I've heard that it took a lot of time to get Malcolm's costume right, and Veena is going to do a lot of things with her costume. Can you tell me, what is it all about?
Okay,
I can't see you.
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yes.
Or Veena, would you like to take that first? Okay, so yes, it was quite interesting to prepare with the costumes, because you had to get the certain look right, and Nasir went into a lot of detail about how the character should look, how he or she they should speak, and also the lighting. And Veena had already got the lighting nailed perfectly, and she helped a lot to get me also. In fact, I think it came to a point where Nasir was just letting us fly, and Veena was like very specific about this lighting. Do this, cover your light from your left side or your right side, and that was good attention to detail.
It looks like you guys have put in your money in the show, getting your lights and costumes and everything. So would you like to tell me about that? Anyone? Nasir, you may talk about it. How much?
Yeah, so actually,
Yes.
so I do not have that great lighting in my house. So I had to get a good specific lighting, and I know the how lighting can help a movie, like
Enrich.
any
Yeah.
any scene.
Yes.
So like Nasir, I'm also a big movie buff, and I also keep rewinding. Like if I like some kind of scene,
That's putting it mildly. When Veena says she is a movie buff, that's putting it mildly.
okay,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I am a
Yeah.
good buff, and so I keep rewinding and I keep figuring out, like, where how the light goes on specific characters in a movie, and how the even if they're talking the dialogue, it intensifies because of the light.
Of
So
course.
yeah, that was there. And Nasir was like, also when we were working on the lighting, I, Vikrant, and Shweta, and Nasir, and Malcolm, so we were trying to figure out all different types of lighting, and we had only our mobile phones basically. So but we Nasir kind of also did tell a very important thing, like, for the villains, it should be dark everywhere, and
Okay.
that kind of made it easy. About the costume,
Huh.
I'm a big if I love a character or something, I
Huh.
just go deep into it, and playing a villain is very great because you
So
can just.
what kind of a villain is it? Like, मुझे एक reference बताइए. Like, who is this? Like, closest to? Tell me a villain's name that your character is the closest to. Anything, anyone from the films.
I don't know, because I think since it's improvised, I
Huh.
don't think I can compare it with any kind of character.
Okay.
I had a discussion with Nasir about what my characters should look like, and I had some references, but he was very specific, and he was very sure about, like, this is what the villain should look like. So I think it's a combination of many villains that I've seen.
Ah, wow.
I'm basically a
Super villain. Yeah.
Hindi film and regional film person.
Huh.
Um,
Same. Me
so
too. Malayalam cinema.
Malayalam cinema, and
Fahad Fasil. Yes.
Tamil and Malayalam, and a little bit of Telugu.
Hmm.
But yeah, so there, if you see the characters, I did refer to some of the female characters who have played villain. Unfortunately, in our country, there are very few female villains who have made impact. And one of them is from a Tamil movie, a Rajini movie called Ramya Krishna, which I don't know whether a lot of people know or not, but she was just too good. So I did refer her, but not completely. But yes, I did
Yeah, of course.
try
You said
to
it's
figure
improvised.
out
Yeah.
body language.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next actor, Rudra. Rudra, tell me, how are you being a catalyst in this, and how are you close to this character in real life? How much are you this character in real life?
So most of my younger cousins are like call me an uncle, because the kind of like stuff I tell, like
You
it's
giving a lot of gyan.
profound. ज्ञान, yeah,
Yes.
फंडे बहुत मारता हूँ मैं.
एक दो मुझे भी देके जाना जाते जाते.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah.
Happy to do that.
Yeah.
But here in this particular like blockbuster, I realized that it's all about observing, and uh, like like Nasir's direction throughout, like observing all the characters across. Because I'm not working with all the characters in the scene, right? My scene is with the protagonist, and I think Laxmi mentioned that before. Working with them, like Shreya and Felix, I have improvised with them so much in these past few months, outside and inside of this practice, that it becomes a second skin. And the work of the catalyst, I think, is the closest to one of the principles of improv, which is making the other person look good.
How wonderfully spoken.
So
Very well
that's
said.
what.
Yes.
So I feel like I truly believe in that principle, and I want to take it through the right end.
Very well said. Okay, no one responded to that question of mine when I said कि किसने कितना पैसा डाला है खुद का. So I want an answer to that.
Okay,
किसने सबसे ज्यादा पैसा डाला? Yes, Akash, go
I will
on.
answer. I know मैंने सबसे ज़्यादा पैसा नहीं डाला. I will answer to that. So the thing is, from day one, the way Nasir has treated us with his PPT and the way he has, brought the entire team together and all,
Yeah.
the culture he has created in the team, we have engaged ourselves so much to the character and the show that we have volunteered to do these things. We want the show to become a blockbuster, as the name suggests. And Nasir ने हमें बिल्कुल फोर्स नहीं किया है और नासिर ने मुझे बिल्कुल पैसे नहीं दिया है ये बोलने का. 50 rupees GPay. Okay, Nasir.
Hey, so
Akash and his bad comic timing.
what about the article, huh? The mean things you guys said. What about that?
I was yes ending. It was not uploaded by me.
Okay,
Hey, but
let's
it quoted you,
move on.
Akash.
Let's move on to the parents, Vikrant and Shweta. How are your parents different from the parents we see? Like, of course, it's improvised. मुझे पता है improvised है तो अपने आप निकलेगा वहाँ पे. But कुछ तो ढांचा होता है. तो tell me कि ये वो बाउची है. Yes.
You mean how are we different from the parents
parents
that
we have
we
seen
see in real life?
Pop culture, so not real life.
Pop culture parents, acha.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we are very similar, I guess. I mean, Vikrant will also add on, but we are quite similar to pop culture parents in the sense of the support.
Okay.
So I, as an improviser, my comfort zone is maternal roles. I have been told that I play a very good mummy, and this was a dream role for me because I get to play someone who supports the protagonist all throughout.
Again,
and I guess
principle of
that
improv.
way there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Difference might be, it might not be. I guess I'll give away the plot too much if I tell what the difference might be.
Okay, fair enough. Vikrant,
Right.
Vikrant, I played a father to you long back, and it's great to be seeing you as the father. Yeah, go on.
So yeah, like Shweta said, we are very similar to the pop culture parents that you see out there because
Are you going to be like Simran's Bauji?
no, not that kind. The supportive pop culture.
Supportive. सपोर्टिव कौन है लेकिन पॉप कल्चर में? मैं वही सोच रहा हूँ तब से, इवन व्हेन श्वेता सेड
वो दिल चाहता है मैं बाप था ना.
हाँ, वो बहुत कम कल्ट. ओके,
वो बोलता है कि जाओ.
Like हम आपके हैं कौन वाले parents.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Got it.
And or I don't know, Nasir ji in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. Diamond biscuit छोड़ो, but actually खुद के लिए क्या करते हो, right? So
yes,
these parents are the kind who are trying to egg on the protagonist and find their true self. And in a way, before the protagonist, even meets the catalyst who Rudra is, we are egging them on in this journey of self-discovery. And I think in that, we also try and give our own shades to the character itself. And I think that's what is going to make this character even more appealing. I'm really looking forward to this. And on a side note, not specifically to the question, but to the question you asked right at the start about lighting, which even Malcolm and Veena answered. I think what this entire ecosystem has enabled us improvisers to do is the usage of sound and lighting in improv, which is otherwise in a live format becomes very expensive, so to say, or it's not that easy. And here we are on Zoom, utilizing all these things and trying to make it real. Obviously, it has its own catch to it, in a way that the characters that have like a dark background are dark not just because it's actually dark, but it's also the way the protagonist is perceiving them. What is the protagonist? You are looking at the movie from their perspective, right? And the lighting sort of portrays that as well in a way. So it's going to be a very different experience while also holding together the thread of conventional storytelling in a way.
Well, thank you, Vikrant. In detail way mein you said everything. I would like to bring back Nasir, and I have a question coming up right now.
Yes.
That these people told me the parents are supportive, Rudra is supportive. Then where is the conflict for the character?
The conflict.
You can't reveal.
Spotlight. It's going to be difficult to reveal the conflict of the character because that's going to give away the plot of this production. But what I can tell you is that the conflict is brewing somewhere
Inside themselves.
In the fine line of the interaction of these characters.
Okay.
So just like you sort of kind of get a jolt when you realize that this is not what you expected from the movie that you just saw. That's something that is going to happen in this as well. So that's as much as I can say.
Okay, okay. With that, I would like to talk to the protagonist, Shreya. Do we have the other protagonist, Nasir?
Yes.
Yes, Felix also. Please tell me about your characters and how are you? How have you prepared for this? Like, yeah.
Okay, so from the beginning, I didn't want to become a protagonist. Okay. And so the thing is, I just nominated myself, and I thought, I mean, I kind of slipped into the character, and it's been a self discovery from there. Okay, and like how the the protagonist goes through the self discovery of what the plot is and who he is in the show. I'm also figuring out what I'm going to do. Okay. And it's just more like from the day one of the rehearsal till now, I'm like slowly discovering. I think I closely relate myself to a villain character, and this is the first time I'm playing a positive character, and it's a good self discovery, I could say.
Of course, of course, of course. Shreya, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So, as I was in my early teens, I did not really have much appreciation for coming of age novels because I used to think that they're very trite, that they deal with cliched themes and all that. Towards my late teens, I sort of developed more of an appreciation for it. I had never really took on a coming of age role as such. And when Nasir posted the description of the protagonist, I gave it about 2 days, and I said that by this time someone else would have applied, and I would take the back seat and not really apply for it. And then I texted Nasir.
Nasir कहाँ पे डाला? LinkedIn पे डाला था. Okay, yeah, go on, please.
So then I applied for it, and little did I know that I was the first one to apply after 2 days of Nasir having posted the description.
Poor Nasir. Okay. Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it was wonderful taking on this role because firstly, the cast that I am with makes it a breeze. There is so much to learn from the cast itself, their attention to detail, their dedication, even the finest things. Even though we're not directly teaching each other, there's just so much to imbibe. And I feel like I'm also going through this journey from like naivete to badassery through the medium of this movie. And that's really exciting on a personal note, as Felix said, on a personal self-discovery thing.
Now, this question is for everyone. Like, there's this thought, the school of thought, which is there, कि हम तो improv Zoom पे नहीं कर सकते because we don't feel it. So, how do you manage to overcome that? Even if you feel it or if you don't feel it, what are your opinions about that? This is to all. Yeah, this is for all. Yeah.
So I would like to
please.
So my exposure to improv is through Zoom first. So so I don't know otherwise. I don't know how it is to do a physical improv. So the time that I'm going to do physical improv, I think you should come and ask me again, like how is it to do physical improv for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, for
That
me,
question is for everyone. We are all going to face that. कि क्या हो रहा है? छूना भी होता है. Yes.
yeah, for me, it's a very easy learning. I didn't have to unlearn anything. It was a natural flow.
Okay.
Can I
Okay.
just
Yes,
adding
please.
on to what Felix said? I just want to say, for me, I have done physical improv before. So it was a transition from physical to Zoom improv. And I know a lot of people say they found it difficult and they don't like Zoom improv and they don't think Zoom improv is improv. But I thrived in Zoom improv. There is something about sitting in your own room, in your own house, having that safety for an introvert, kind of introvert, ambivert like me, and being able to participate while having the safety net of having to, you can close your video anytime, you can close your audio anytime.
Okay.
I think that safety allowed me to take a lot of risks and sort of learn a lot. So I have had that experience. So to anybody who thinks that, I would say, well, you try it out. If you genuinely don't like it, then fair enough. But if you don't try it, if you have not seen it, if you have never done Zoom improv, saying that statement is not okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
May I add something to that?
Please.
I think Shreya wanted to go. So first, Shreya.
That's okay. If you okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
Malcolm.
Shreya, please go.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So adding on to what Shweta said and what Felix said, I'll combine both of these experiences. So I started entertainment-wise improv through Zoom itself, and playing the devil's advocate over here. I think that it's really not that bad because, especially given that we're making a blockbuster movie, I find that we can actually give a movie-like experience better through Zoom improv. I mean, I'm not saying that we can't give it live. I'm just saying that we can, really utilize a lot of technicalities and technical aspects, which on a stage, yeah, I mean, qualms about it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah.
So guys, like, yes, someone wants to go. Rudra, yeah, please go.
Also.
Akash, you also should come.
First. Malcolm.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So I think there are challenges that had to be, like, for me, had to be dealt with when I started doing online improv, because I had been doing physical improv for a while. One is you don't get to feed off the energy of the audience. So one thing is in physical improv, even if I stutter over a word, or I just don't intend to be funny, there would be someone in the audience who would just laugh, and that kind of feeds into you. So that is not there. But what I noticed when I started doing online improv is the audience were just so supportive. So the chat box would be filled with comments, and that's just kind of makes up for not having a physical audience.
Yes.
Also, I think having online improv has broken down hierarchies. So anyone with an internet connection can improvise with almost anyone right now. So
yes,
global what you'd say collaborations have just become so easy. You could improvise with. I know of people. I don't know if there's one of them, definitely a vampire here, who improvises that insane hours in the night.
Who's that person?
I would like them to identify themselves.
Yes, please do that and share their experience. Please.
This is no time for modesty.
Yes.
Wait, do you mean me? Because
you, Laxmi, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, guys. If you don't want to come, it's fine.
No, I don't mind. I think there is a super reality of this, that we have been in a pandemic for 7 months, like that is the reality and the context in which all of this is happening. And the reality is that we don't know when this will end. We do a form which has historically been done on stage. Is it the same thing? It's not. Is it better or not? One can't tell, because it's not like I get to do like in real life improv in morning and come do Zoom improv in the evening and sit and write a thesis about which is better, for at least for me, you know, right now.
Yeah.
And something that Bala, one of our friends from the team that we perform with, shares is that we have to look at online improv as its own creature. Any comparisons wouldn't hold. Having said that, there are things which we get here, we don't get there. And one of the biggest things is keeping the art alive. Because other option is stopping doing improv, which a lot of people have done. And I respect that opinion, because a couple of my friends are extremely drained by online work. And they find it more draining than... There is some science about this dissonance of presence and absence at the same time. Like, I can see you, Shashi, so you're present to me, but I can't experience you in the proximity that I can see you. So then there's a dissonance of presence and absence at the same time. So of course it's very draining. So I just feel like the context of the pandemic, plus the need to keep connections alive and art alive, plus the truth that this is a different, accessible in some ways possibility, makes it a different creature, and it would make no sense to compare to me. Yeah.
You know, I just, when you were saying all this, I just remembered this. Like Satyajit Ray used to say that silent film is itself another medium. Don't compare it to the talkies. When the talkies had come, that was in context to that era. So this made a lot of sense what you said, Laxmi. Thank you for that. And Nasir, I would like to call you back and
Yes,
tell me, where do you see the show going, and where do you see your shows going in this pandemic with Zoom? Do you want to get an international audience, because through Zoom you can get everyone?
Yes,
and yes, tell me.
So I see this show as a very innovative performance, or a show put together, not just by me, but all of us have contributed towards it. And that because it is innovative, and every step of the way we've been creative, we've done an out of the box thinking in order to promote this show. So I am very optimistic that it's going to attract a lot of people who want to come see this show, not just from India, but also international. So I'm happy even right now the way it's turned out. And I will end the year with this show. I will not really do anything more than this show, at least for the rest of 2020 online.
Okay.
Then when it comes to 2021 online performances, I can't say how I feel about those, because right now, outside of just the fact that there is this show that is coming up, what I have always constantly been looking forward to is how are we progressing towards what will be an end goal for this entire creative process. And it's that process which has made me very content. And it came from a place where I wasn't looking to do something different. It just happened. So till that feeling comes back again, I guess I don't know if I'll do another online performance again after this.
Okay, Nasir. And other people, can you tell me how long would you keep doing online improv? If this is going to be there for the next 5 years, would you keep doing it? Or yes, Akash, can you do anything?
Sorry, I cut you. So I think this will coexist even after the lockdown is gone.
Okay.
Like, I think if you talk about the mode of payment right now, even after demonetization, the cash and the online medium still coexist. So I think even after the lockdown is gone, this will not go anywhere. This will give us a chance to work in collaboration and synergy. Like, I have never personally performed with a lot of people outside Mumbai. Like, this is giving me a chance to work with a lot of brilliant improvisers. And one most important thing over here, I would like to add over here, if you see in the posters and anything, there's no name of any particular improv community or a group mentioned, which shows is a show done by improvisers. So these kind of even thinking, breaking the shatter kind of a thing was not seen before this. It's a lockdown which has actually brought us together, and we have actually learned a lot from different improvisers. That's a great thing, and I
That's
think
a great point.
we should. Yeah.
For sure. Yes. Okay. Last question to everyone. Why do you do improv, and how does it make you a better person? Very cliche, but I'm sure very interesting answers are going to come up. Yes.
I have an answer to this.
Please.
In fact, I was just having a discussion with someone about this. That's why it's topmost on my mind. I do improv personally. I never wanted to be a performer. I don't have ambitions in performance or stage as such. I do improv because improv teaches me about life. Via my scenes on stage in Zoom, there are certain things that come up, like, for example, a certain insecurity that I have had with respect to how I look at rejection, for example. It comes up because improv is that way. It'll bring out to you the best and the worst in you. And then it sort of brings it out to you and tells you, yeah, this is what it is, you deal with it. And I look at it as an opportunity to grow in my life, because it does reflect, and you can't really avoid how you are in life and how you are in improv are not two different things. They are the same, and that is why I do improv. It's a magical thing for me. And to your previous question, that's the reason why I had a doubt about your previous question, because I will continue to do improv whether online or offline, as long as it is fun and it contributes to my growth. When it does not, I will stop doing it. So
wonderful.
That's personally for me, that's how it is.
Next, who wants to go? Laxmi, I can see you smiling. Yes.
Okay, sure. I think there are conversations which are being had in improv communities, which as a society we need to have more of. For example, conversation on consent, conversations on boundaries, conversations on collaboration, conversation on gender identities, conversations on why we make the choices we make, and who is on our stage and who is absent in our stage and life. And they're not perfect, but this is the space where it is happening. So not so much in Indian improv community, to be fair, mostly in global improv communities. But I feel like for me, what works is the fact that you are going in there with your body and your experiences. There are the truth is for everybody to see. Anybody who's going to watch. That's one bit of it. Another part of it is also there are hierarchies in performance arts, right? Like there's improv has always been a counter culture sorts. It's famously known as a cult form. It's famously known as people get together and then just like form and do these energy exercises and do like these mirroring exercises and go on stage and crack pop culture references, etc., etc. There are a lot of understandings in literature about spontaneous forms of theater, and I feel like it's a good time right now to bust them if they are not serving the art form, to be empowered by them if they're serving the art form, vis-a-vis the conversations about collaboration. Also, improv theater itself is spoken in certain light, but improv in every other art form is used.
Yes.
Movement uses improv. Like
there is contact improvisation. Yeah.
Contact improv. So I don't know why there is, to me at least, it feels like there's a resistance to co-opt it as an art in itself in the mainstream. But when it comes to the mode and medium of improvisation, everybody else is open to that. You know what I mean? So this idea of improv is juvenile, needs to change, because maybe it is, but so is everything else. Maybe in improv, you can take longer to learn, and maybe that is difficult for some art forms to digest, and that's okay. We will forgive.
That's a great point, Laxmi. Who else? Laxmi is a very well-read person. I think I should talk to you again later on and learn a lot of things from you. Who wants to go next?
If no one's going, I'll go.
Yes, please, Shreya, go on.
So like how improv is spelled with an I and also a V. It teaches you so much about yourself, and it also teaches you so much about other people and teamwork and bringing bricks and making cathedrals together, as ICP has taught me. So for me, why I do improv is it's liberating to be yourself and to play your own truths while also being conscious of um, the scenes
The energy
yeah,
coming. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So in other forms of theater there is a sort of I mean, I wouldn't compare because it's like comparing apples and oranges, but what I can say is that ever since I found improv, I've found it easier to uh, get my head into other forms of theater because I can now play characters as an extension of myself, and I don't have to get into it like it's an artificial thing. I can be me and like wear that character like a skin. So I find that
Oh,
that
nice.
has helped a lot. Also, the spirit of yes anding everything has made me
More open in life in general.
yes, and also made me look at mistakes in a different light.
Okay, and there is no mistake. Everything is right. Just improvise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Next, Malcolm, if you haven't already.
Yeah, why I do improv is something I have not pinpointed to the answer yet. I just have a lot of fun when I do improv. Like Shreya said, and I think both Laxmi and Shweta also touched upon it. It's the ability to be yourself. It's a strange dichotomy because I think I can be myself. There have been scenes where I have actually drawn from my personal life experiences and sometimes even played them out. And the other times I've just been a completely opposite, wild, made wild choices, played a unreal, absurd character, and I just love that I can do both of them on the in the same space, and it accepts both of these. You can be as grounded as I can be as grounded as I want, or I can be just some absurdist, magic realist character and create a fantastic world. That and again, it's so accepting. So, like Shreya said, bringing a brick to build a cathedral. So you contribute, and then there is your co-improvisers bring their own forms, and we build something magical, which we probably didn't imagine in the first place. So that's
Very true. Very true. Vikrant, would you like to go?
Yeah, I think what Malcolm said is on point.
Everyone is referring to each other. This
Yeah,
is not done.
this is what improv is, Shashi.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes,
Chalo, go
and
on. Yes, go
Right.
on.
So I stumbled upon improv by accident, and I just loved it, and it was a lot of fun, and that's how it started. And the way one of the things that really attracts me again is the sense of collaborative exploration that no other form allows you. The way you can actually explore an idea with someone, like this is literally with someone, and there's no other art form that does that so well, I think. uh, and whenever any other art form does that, they are incorporating improvisation itself in it,
Yes,
like Lakshmi said there. Like even
true.
musicians, when they are
They
playing, they
jam.
use improvisation,
Yes.
and it's in a different form. So that's, I think, the beauty of improv. uh, and the absurdity that you can come across sometimes when you are building a world is uh, is just fascinating, and that's again something you don't get anywhere else. We've done some memorable
Absurd
scenes
scene.
together, Shashi. So you know what I'm talking about.
Do you think that absurdity is somewhere in our subconscious? That's not on the surface, but somewhere deep rooted. कहीं से तो निकलता है. Do you think? क्योंकि हम लोग spontaneously बोल देते हैं कुछ absurd. Do you
Right.
think वो बहुत नीचे कहीं है लेकिन ऐसा?
I think so. I mean, absurdity is just in a way it is also a figment of how you wanted the world to be, maybe. Like,
Yes, very
sometimes.
well put. I can relate to that. Totally, totally. Yes. You were saying
So
something. I'm sorry. Yes, please go.
no, no, I'm done.
Okay. Okay. Who's next? I've forgotten who have gone and who have. Please, please. Who's next?
So I would just like to add in terms of like inclusion, what I've seen across, like even while improving on doing improv online with many communities across the world, I've seen that the average age of an improviser is actually a good improviser is actually higher, is like 40 and above, and which is what gives me hope. The one question that I ask is for my art form, like, can I, after 10 years, will I be as excited? Is I'm sorry, Shreya, like as excited for this particular art form as I was, as I am right now. And I feel that an art form which allows us to give that kind of, like, when the more artfulness and the more skill you become at a later stage after doing so much improv, I think that is inclusive in the wholesome sense, and that is the whole reason I think I will do online improv, because it allows me to connect with so many different age groups and so many different, even like people who are challenged can do improv online.
Okay.
And that is what I want to try. That will what will keep me coming back to improv.
How wonderful. How wonderful. Yeah. So who's next? Akash, are you there? Are you?
Yeah, I am there. So,
Yes.
I will tell you interesting things. So there's some internet issue in my house. I cannot see any one of you, but I just thought of something about online improv, which you were guys saying, even or in improv in general. Over here, we see suddenly a person getting frozen. We have had a scene where I think you were frozen. So, yesterday there was doing a scene with Laxmi where she turned on her camera. But over here in improv, we don't say anything as a mistake. We accept that as a reality and we move ahead with that. In real life, we don't see that. When something happens which we're not planned to, we think it's a mistake. But over here, for example, if I'm frozen, the person will justify, oh, he is a rock or whatever it is. Or it's a disco suddenly. I cannot hear
Kya
you.
baat hai?
Oh, we are in a disco, dude. So that's how we build with each other's mistakes and we take it ahead. So that is something which I have learned in improv, and that is what makes me come back every time.
Does it become a second nature? Like you said, you improvise. So when you are sitting for an office meeting on Zoom, do you do the same thing, or does that impulse come? You don't say it, but does it happen now?
Yes,
Because you're
yes,
constantly
yes,
doing it.
yes.
It does.
Yes, it
That
does. It
that's so
does. It
nice.
does.
That's so nice. That's so nice. Yes. Who's next? Is there someone
I'll
left?
go.
Please, Nasir.
Um,
Are you the last one?
no, we have Veena left.
Then let's go with Veena. Then we'll come back to the director.
Okay. Veena, the floor is
Veena,
yours.
please. Veena, please.
Yeah, so improv came very accidentally to me. I didn't even know what jamming was. And I didn't know improv. I thought improv was like a traditional form of theater. But then I realized that it is so giving and also accepting. And the first thing that struck me was that it doesn't have any judgments. You don't have any judgments. So whatever you do, people are not going to judge you like, oh, why did you do this, why did you do that? So everybody is there to pull you up and make you feel good. So that is what I started learning more, and I actually started putting that in my real life also, because that helped me to understand that person's from where that person is coming, where the anguish is coming and everything. So that no judgment part has helped me a lot in my life. Also, with improv I can be anything. So in reality I'm very quiet, and I don't open up so much, though people say I'm an extrovert, but it's not like that. But when it comes to whether it's on stage or whether it's in Zoom, if I have to play some character, I will do it I'll give everything to it, like 100%. And if that means I have to play a inanimate character, a non-living object or a living object, I'll do everything for it. And that's my 100% for it. And I love doing that because it just helps me to get out of who I actually am, who Veena is, and become something different, which is very exciting. And I can explore that part of me, like how Vikrant said, and others, everybody said, uh, there is this absurdity. I don't know how I'm spelling it or pronouncing it right.
Yeah. Please go on. We're getting it. Yes.
Yeah. So everybody has that that pagalpanti inside you.
Of course.
But as a civilized society, you're not allowed to do that. But when you are allowed to do that, you go full on. I go full on. I don't know what I go full on. I try to be as authentic as possible, and that's really nice. I recently played a wolf, and it was very nice because it just brought out the wolfness inside me, or I don't know what. So yeah.
Wolfity. Yeah, whatever. Please go on.
Yeah. So I know, not Wolverine. It was just a wolf animal. So yeah, it helps me to be something which I just cannot be in my real life. That is what excites me to the maximum. And the thing is that the partner who I'm playing with accepts that.
Yeah.
Judgment without any kind of, and he or she's accepting it full-heartedly, with full arms.
Yeah.
That makes it even more easy for me to do improv. So I don't think I don't know about other art forms at all. I'm a science student, so I don't know anything about other art forms. And improv is also accidental, but I just love it because you can just be you can be yourself and not yourself. So
yeah. Well, more power to you, Veena. Whatever you said was so genuine, and I connected with it so much. I'm sure everyone connected with it. And may you keep rising through improv more and more. And with that, Nasir, the final words from Nasir, please.
So the reason I do improv is because it's something that helps me with self-awareness. Because in improv, we get to interact non-verbally, verbally. We get to see how each piece of communication we give is a response that the other person receives and then gives back. All of this doing on a constant basis makes me more self-aware, and self-awareness is great because when you're out in the outside world, everything that you say, every action that you make, every gesture that you do, it shows in a way who you are, how you're communicating. And when that self-awareness is there, you can instantly recognize when you're being a dick, when you're being really kind and generous. And I think self-awareness is something that I have gained a lot from improv, apart from all the other things that everybody else mentioned. And that's also something that I look to impart when I do teach my workshops and sessions. That's at the bottom line of everything. You are understanding yourself a little more and being a little more self-aware. And from there, you can probably, enrich yourselves a little more in the real world.
How wonderfully said. How wonderfully said. Nasir, do you want to add? Yeah, someone said something.
Okay, I think I didn't go.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. Probably we're saving best for last. That's all right.
Yes. Felix, go on with your powerful words.
No. I'll just keep it short. For me, the love of improv extends not only improv theater, and also I'm also a musician. So for me, the love of improv came there first. If you ask me to play any known song, I don't know most of the songs. I only play improvisational music.
Okay.
And improv theater has become a very natural progression for me. So I think it's a natural way of life for me, at least. And also another point, like I think absurdity is a key word today. So, so the thing is, for me, I call myself an absurdist and experimentalist. So,
Wonderful.
So the thing is, it gives me a window, it gives me a space to go there.
How wonderful! How wonderful! With that, Nasir, you wanted to add something? No? Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, Akash,
One
please.
thing, Shashi,
What
I'm
up?
very sorry. I'm
कोई
taking the
बात नहीं.
limelight from the director. So
तुम्हारा
I would
यही
like
काम
just
है.
like I know that. I would just like to thank Nasir for everything he has put us on, and I hope it becomes a blockbuster weekend as the least birthday gift we can give to you. So
Yes.
Oh, it's Nasir's birthday
Yes.
on the show.
Yes,
Huh?
it's my birthday. The first show is happening on my birthday.
क्या बात है,
7th November.
Yeah.
क्या बात है. Cool then. With that,
I didn't know that.
You
I
knew
think
that.
it's
But-
never gonna
okay,
happen.
maybe you didn't. Maybe
And
you
I
did
forgot
not
it.
come. You forgot it. Yes.
I'm also going to come and watch your show, hopefully, and wish you birthday,
It's
Nasir.
it's going to be an expensive show, Shashi, to save up.
It will be worth
are
it.
you not paying Shashi also, or at least
No,
pay
no, Shashi.
Cool, guys. It was great fun talking to you, and thank you so much for doing this. All the best for your show.
Yes,
And take
Shashi,
care.
thank you so
And
much
Shashi.
for
to
the
more.
wonderful interview
Yes,
that you
thank
did.
you
And
so
stay safe.
much.
Thank you so much.
So much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, Shashi.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. guys.
Bye.
Yes.